Hi, I'm Maggie Barber, and I'm here with
Brian Holmes,
Alex Bula,
and Hannah Peterson.
And we're very excited to tell you about our brand campaign, Aspire to be NC. Starting off, we do apologize that you're not able to see the slides as we go through them, but you do have a copy of them, and we will do our best to tell you when we're changing slides so you can follow along. So moving on to the agenda slide, we'll start off talking a little bit about the history and what we found is important to this brand campaign. And then delve in a little deeper into the current brand analysis and the shortcomings that we see with that. Then we'll introduce to you guys the specifics of the Aspire to be NC brand proposal and all the different components that we see going into that. And then we'll wrap things up hopefully pretty quickly. So moving to the next slide, the history of North Carolina. We found this various facts about North Carolina's history rooted in progression. So even going back as far as 1893, when the state motto was founded, in Latin it translates to be rather than to seem, and we think this really represents North Carolina's constant strive to be more than just the virtues and the positive aspects on paper and to really represent that in person. So to give you guys a few examples of how we found this to be true, going back even to North Carolina's, or the University of North Carolina was the first public university in the United States. So, and then even going further than that, in 1907 with the Wright brothers' first flight, we really saw a lot of innovation around that time with various different scientific endeavors. And then even as far, or in more recent times, with the civil rights movement, North Carolina was always an innovator of equality in the South, and we think that these attributes still are relevant today and can provide a strong brand opportunity. With the current brand, we saw a lot of shortcomings, first of which when asked, when people who had never been to North Carolina were asked what they thought of North Carolina, 42% of respondents had no clear view of North Carolina. They didn't think anything. So we think this represents a great opportunity to build a stronger brand that has a more dominant features in people's minds. In general, or in addition to that, we asked our friends and colleagues what they thought of what they thought the current state slogan was, and nobody knew that we talked to. So we think that represents a great opportunity to build a better and stronger brand and really use that going forward. So we came up with this concept, moving on to the logo. As you can see, the top of North Carolina has going from the mountains to the city skyline to the beaches. It represents the diversity and all the opportunities that are in North Carolina. We think this is applicable throughout the state and really builds off that original state motto of to be rather than to seem. Specifically, we see this playing out to advertise and market North Carolina's strong education system, the variety of business opportunities that are available in the state, the diverse vacation opportunities, and all of the sporting events that people can attend within North Carolina. So, starting things off, we think this Aspire to be NC can be played out into making, to market North Carolina's education. So Aspire to be intellectual. So at the foundation, North Carolina is a leader in early education. As a state, we rank 4th in pre-kindergarten education quality. So this gives and provides us with young children that are ready to succeed as soon as they enter elementary school. And then our public K through 12 schools are also very high in quality. We are number 1 in the amount of national board certified teachers, which creates a strong learning environment throughout elementary, middle, and high school. In addition to that, the average SAT scores for high school students are higher than the national average, as well as higher than most of the southern states. So this is really why we think North Carolina is a beacon of the South, even before students go to college. But once they do enter university, we have an outstanding and diverse array of education opportunities. So Tuition in North Carolina is below the national average, so it's very affordable for students to go to school and obtain a higher education within the state. So with prepared kindergartners and then outstanding performance of our elementary, middle, and high school students, with the diverse and affordable higher education opportunities, we really think this benefits North Carolina education because it provides an excellent workforce to enter the future. So to tell you guys a little bit about the business opportunities within the state, I'm going to pass things off to Ryan.
Thanks, Maggie. So as Maggie touched on, we do have an educated workforce now, and it allows North Carolina to really be innovative. So moving on to the next slide, I'll list some of the reasons that business is attractive in North Carolina. Overall, because we do have smarter students that translate into smarter workers, our employees are 36% more productive than the national average. North Carolina has a low cost of living and low cost of doing business, which is attractive for obvious reasons. Also being located in the same time zone as New York City proves to be effective in doing business and provides some efficiencies. And also with us being a coastal state, as well, or in addition to having 4 international airports, we have proximity to many major markets, which proves to be a benefit in many ways. And then also there's various financial incentives depending on the industry of interest. So moving on to the next slide. These are some of the industries that are thriving right now in North Carolina, and as you can see, there's many innovative industries, which is a testament to North Carolina and the things that we're doing right now, and how this slogan really can apply to doing business in North Carolina. It's a great place to be. And then moving on to the next slide, here's just some examples of companies that are headquartered in North Carolina, and then down at the bottom, those are companies that actually originated in North Carolina. So I believe that this is a strong statement for North Carolina. As you can see, these are large companies that are very successful, and I think the fact that they've been successful in North Carolina really would show other companies that are looking for a potential place to start or a potential place to move, that North Carolina can be a place where innovation is fostered.
Alright, so when you're not doing business, you want to be having fun. So the next part of our slogan is aspire to be carefree. And I'm kind of take you through the entire state of North Carolina, kind of show you the different opportunities that we have. So aspire to be adventurous. There are many things to do in the mountains of North Carolina. There's Asheville, you see the quote up there from one of the avid goers of Asheville. There's the Tweetsie Railroad, the Biltmore Estate has wineries, there's tours for kids and adults to go on. There's mountain tours. There's so much to do just in the mountains of North Carolina. And then moving on, we can see that this is a map of all the different wineries in North Carolina, and there's a lot located in the mountains, so go to the mountains and go stop by a winery. It's really great opportunity for adults to kind of get away from the kids, get away from work, and enjoy some wine. But if you're not a wine lover, go on to the next slide, and we have tons of microbreweries across North Carolina. There's a testament on the bottom about how great Big Boss is. There's, this whole new trend of craft beer has been coming up recently, and so I really encourage you to take advantage of this new trend, and you can do so right here in the area of North Carolina. And moving on to the next slide, if you're looking for something a little more thrilling, there is the semi-new National Whitewater Center. There's rapids there is kayaking, there's a zip line, there's hiking, there's even a summer camp for kids to go to. And then also there's Carowinds, which we share with South Carolina, but I would say it's mostly in North Carolina. And there's a water park, and there's huge roller coasters for both adults and kids to go to. And if you're looking for a more artistic side of yourself, on the next slide you'll see the ways you can be entertained. In Charlotte, there's the Blumenthal Performing Arts Center, which I've had the pleasure of going to many times. I've seen Wicked there twice, I've seen The Lion King. There's so many off-Broadway musicals that come to North Carolina that you can see, which is a really cool aspect. In fact, the Durham Performing Arts Center is ranked number 4 among the U.S. entertainment venues, which we're really excited about. That's a really great opportunity for Durham and if you're coming to visit North Carolina. And last but not least, if you just want to relax, there's that for you in North Carolina as well. We have so many beaches that you can go to. If you're into surfing, we have 2 amateur surfing beaches located in Corolla, North Carolina and Wrightsville Beach, as well as Forbes ranked the top 10 beaches in America, and Cape Hatteras was ranked number 8. So I think that kind of sums up how you can be carefree in North Carolina if you're not wanting to do business or education. You can have fun here as well.
All right, and finally, another way you can have fun is by attending a slew of sporting events located right in North Carolina in the major cities of Charlotte and Raleigh. On the next slide, I can show you how you can be a big fan of college sports. We have at least 18 NCAA Division I programs just within North Carolina, and we're home to pretty much the biggest college basketball rivalry in the country. Tobacco Road is also right in our backyard, and we are home to a lot of great athletes such as Michael Jordan, Phil Ford, and other athletes have gone to North Carolina schools such as Chris Paul and Tim Duncan. On the next slide, you can see just how busy you'll be every March. Typically, most of at least the Tobacco Road schools and a few other make the NCAA tournament, so there's always a home team to cheer for. And this also adds to the culture of North Carolina because everyone's really into the games and will watch it at work or at school or at the local bar. So it cultivates a really fun environment. But if college sports aren't your thing, we are home to the heart of NASCAR. We have the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte and are home to a lot of the famous NASCAR drivers. And you can also participate in your own NASCAR thrilling adventure by riding around through one of the simulation things that they have in Charlotte. And then finally, we are home to a lot of professional sports. We don't have Major League Baseball, but Atlanta and Washington, D.C. are really close, so you can definitely pick up those games and become fans of those. But we also have a lot of high-quality talent at the Durham Bulls Park, which is part of the Rays organization. And then we also have the Carolina Panthers, Carolina Hurricanes, and the new Charlotte Hornets, as well as professional soccer. So there's something here for everyone, and those are located in all the big cities. Okay, moving on to the last slide. To sum it up, these are the 4 aspects that we thought were most important to our brand and to make it stronger. So I want you to aspire to be here for education, for business opportunities, for vacation, and for to be a sports fan. And we believe that these 4 components make our brand stronger. And the phrase aspire to be, which is based off of history and our motto to be rather than to seem, all combined together to make a really strong brand that we believe is a lot stronger than, let's say, Florida's, which is Visit Florida. We see a lot of potential in our brand. Rather than just visiting the state, we want you to actually come here and do your business here, start a company, get educated, and then really enjoy what we have to offer. So we thank you for listening to our presentation, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.
Thanks.